Sing it. Down by the river, down by the river, down by the river to see what we can see. Down by the river, by the lovely river, down by the river, that's where I want to be. Grant was very well known around here, and for good reason. In the days before radio, if you wanted music, you either had to go to a dance where folks like Grant were making the music, or else you had to make it yourself. He might not have wound up being known much beyond Delaware County if it wasn't for his mom. If it wasn't for Grant's mom, he would have never been found by Norman Studer, who brought him over to Camp Woodland to share his songs and stories with the kids, because Norman Studer wasn't looking for Grant Rogers when he came to this neighborhood. The kids at Camp Woodland, once upon a time, were collecting stories about Boney Quillen. Does anybody know that name? Well, let me tell you what. If I was asking a bunch of people in Walton 60 or 80 years ago if anybody knew that name, or 100 years ago, probably everybody would have. Boney Quillen was a legitimate folk hero here in this neighborhood. He was kind of like like a larger than life. He was like a Paul Bunyan or something. Boney Quillen was one of those rowdy, tough fellows that would raft the logs down the Delaware River. Grant's mom, Ethel, had known Boney Quillen. And so when Norman Studer came asking around this area for anybody who had known Boney and remembered him, he got directed to Ethel Rogers. And he thought, wow, bonus, because she's also a renowned musician. She plays her concertina at the dances, so maybe we could get her to come share some of that music. It was through finding Grant's mom, Ethel, that Norman found Grant. That led to just years of Grant bringing lots of his Delaware County buddies, including Ernie Sager and the Koss brothers, John and Art, Marvin Atwell, and Grant's brother Murray used to play with him as well down there. One of the folks down at Camp Woodland that Grant met and taught some of his songs to was this tall, skinny kid who was there with some of his friends doing a puppet show for the kids at camp. That tall, skinny kid, his name was Pete Seeger. Grant taught him a few of those songs, and they had quite a good friendship. That led to Grant's horizons expanding. He got him on TV and hooked him up with these traveling shows, and so that was a really wonderful thing for all of us, because some of our local traditions got carried a little bit farther. So this is a song that Grant never sang, but it's a song that I used to get to sing a lot with Pete Seeger. I'll meet you down by the river, down by the river, down by the river to see what we can see. But down by the river, by the lovely river, down by the river, that's where I want to be. Let's give it a try. Down by the river, down by the river, down by the river to see what we can see. Down by the river, by the lovely river, down by the river, that's where I want to be. Nice job. We'll do that a few times.